Me again. Yes, I'm still here. Some things I know a lot of you I'm in contact with daily, but there are people listening to me that I don't know who they are. So, just as a, again, I'm just a grandma. I'm just a mom that's concerned. I've always asked questions and gone to find my own answers because I don't trust anybody that I know has lied to me repeatedly before. So, um, this, I don't know if I can get away with reading it to you, so I'll just, shit, sorry. I'll just scroll up slowly so you can read it yourself. Now, if you go to America, well, I had to go to DuckDuckGo and type in America's Frontline Doctors legal filing, court filing, and a bunch of different sources will come up. I saw Children's Health Defense and clicked that one, and in the first paragraph, I think it had a hyperlink to the court filing. Now, anybody that doesn't understand why people like me are hopping up and down, that court filing will tell you everything you need to know. VAERS was set up to be an alert system that if there's problems, it should show up there. Now, there's still a lot of doctors that don't know it even exists. Let's go back here. Now, this one, I don't know how you find it. It's Stu Peters. Stu Peters show. I want to say he's on BitChute. He's probably on Rumble. He's on it. I guess he probably has his own website. But Stu Peters and Dr. David Martin had a really good interview the other day that will also tell you everything you need to know. The fact that these patents go back to, in fact, Pfizer filed their first one on the spike thing in 1990. It was for a veterinary thing, but it's still the same technology. Now, what so many of these doctors are hopping up and down about is this part that they used to be the antigen, the spike protein. They're finding that that is the cause of the disease. So they just loaded everybody up with it. So antibody dependent enhancement, which is another video I did. I don't remember which one, to all my loved ones, I guess. Talking about Michael Yeadon, who was a Pfizer executive vice president, I think. And Dr. Wodarg, who was an epidemiologist, basically the equivalent of Fauci in Germany at one time. He's not right now, but antibody-dependent enhancement is what is going to be a problem in the next, what is it? It's about August now, so like 2-3 months when these things start circulating normally, naturally. And they're already warning us about this year's flu season. So, off that topic, yesterday, over 30,000 websites went down. Big websites. 911 services in certain places. In fact, the one little snippet that I saw was saying that 911 was out, so use this number, and the area code was 540. Well, that's where my family's from. That's Virginia. What happens? Okay, first of all, Mr. Well, here we go. Is this Schwab? Klaus. Does it say here? No. Anyway, he is threatening to have, well, it says right here, the World Economic Forum warns of a new crisis, even more significant economic and social implications than the CV. He's talking about power grid down, banking offline, cyberdemic. Now, of course, you know, who is Schwab? Well, look up who he is and understand like this says. Let me let you read the beginning of this. That's right. Appearances to the contrary notwithstanding, he had a mother, and his mother's maiden name, whoops, sorry, and I lost it. Maiden name was Roth, right here. Can you see that? So they are the people that create money. And that's what they're wanting to do, is to get rid of, and they've said this, that the U.S. dollar is no longer going to be the reserve currency. But see, here's the thing. These people say these things all the time, and they might get a little 30-second sound bite, but then we're off to some murder or some, people dropping dead in the street. And these things are actually more important on a grand scheme, are just glossed over. What are you going to do should the power go out? Do you have any food? Do you have water? Fresh water is getting to be a problem in some places. I did the video telling you that California was limiting farmers, or was limiting everybody's water. But they were cutting farmers off. So, how are you going to get food when there is no food? And that's another thing, is there are videos all over the place of truckers telling you that there are shipping containers that they're being told to just leave, to just let sit. There are farmers coming out to say that they're receiving notices that they will be paid 1.5 times what the crop's worth if they just let it sit or destroy it. In fact, I saw a video this morning of some farmer with a lawnmower going over his beans because he was told he would be paid, I don't remember how much more, like $600 more an acre or something. And yeah, some of these may not all be true, but there are enough of them that are. I want to see where that's coming from, for one thing, because talk about, the criminality of what's happening right now is just, and I think that's why a lot of people just cannot accept. And my mom and I were talking about this morning. How do you not question this? And I think, I saved a meme on my phone that it's a guy with a picket sign saying, on a soul level, your soul has to be telling you that this shit ain't right. And I think there are a lot of people that see what is going on? None of this is right. But they don't want to actually accept what it means. Well, whether you accept it or not, yes, it means what it looks like. The enemy has always been within the gates. They told us that they weren't going to be able to take us down through invasion, that they would have to do it from within. Now, I've been trying to tell anybody that would listen to me that these alphabet groups, the ones that matter, they were telling you that they were trained Marxists. That's what they are. Well, what are Marxists? There were some things in the news today about our Justice Department not going after 5 CCP members that were, I guess they were brought up on charges. They were within our universities, but they're just going to let that go. Our universities have been breeding grounds for this stuff. We know this. But there's still so many people that are like, no, that'll never happen here. Well, not only is it happening here, but it's happening all over the world. And the rest of the world has been looking at us because we are the linchpin. You've got Mr. Soros. That's not his name, but if you can't figure out who I'm talking about, I'll leave it in the comments. Saying that for their new order to come to be, that the West would have to fall. Well, they want their order. And they're taking us down. They have told these kids that it'll be all rainbows and butterflies about all equality and all. Yeah, okay, I can see with these kids. Yeah, that sounds terrific. But every time throughout history that they've tried to do that, especially when you've got the ones that have been the ones throughout history to do the starving and the stomping on faces, that are doing it again. In my playlist, under my name, if you hit playlist, there's a video by Yuri Bezmenov. It's Edward G. Griffin interviewing Yuri Bezmenov, who was a Russian defector. And he will explain to you exactly what you're seeing right now. You've got 4 stages. You've got demoralization, destabilization, crisis, and normalization. Well, we are at the crisis point. They've demoralized us for the last, 40 years? They were doing it when he was talking in the 80s. I am doing this. I'm making an ass out of myself because I'm looking at what's happening to my children. Now, it's happening to your children too. I don't want it to happen to anybody's child. But if you want your children to have even what we had, and they don't. You know, I haven't been the most present mother because I've been watching this shit coming for 11 years. It's here. A lot of us have been screaming about it for the last 11 years, and a lot of you are like, we're so sick of hearing this shit. Yeah, okay, well, here it is. They are going for broke. If you're not seeing what's happening in Canada, I'm communicating with a couple Canadians that I've come to really, really care for, and they are just beside themselves with what's happening there. I mean, the crime, it's unbelievable, and they're wanting to bring it here. Now, they've got people coming out in both Canada and Australia saying, we don't want you guys talking to each other. I mean, literally saying that you can't speak to people. Well, no, they don't want us talking to each other. In fact, the video I did of listen when they speak or whatever, where I showed you them in their own words telling you that this thing was not going to stop infection, it wasn't going to stop transmission, that all it was going to do was reduce symptoms. It's really not doing that either. They're talking about breakthrough cases. Well, breakthrough cases means it doesn't work. The fact that there are, we don't even know what the numbers are. Read that court filing. Because it was saying, the VAERS report was saying something like 12,000. And CDC came in and said, holy shit, no, there was a mistake somewhere. And now they're saying, well, those people, they weren't from the United States. Okay, they're dead, but they didn't live here, so they don't count? Okay, I get it. But then you've got European agencies that are saying it's something like 18,000. So much like the original condition where you got shot, but your test came up positive, so it's listed as that. Or you got, motorcycle accident, but your test came up positive, then that's okay. They've made such a mess out of the numbers. They keep saying, trust the science, the science. Well, if you see what they've done to the damn science. Yeah, I'm a 3 times college dropout. Science was my thing. Biology, anatomy, and physiology was my thing. I wanted to go into immunology. But, I had kids, and my kids were more important. What has happened to science in the last year that in itself is a crime against humanity. I am so angry. There's not a whole lot I can do. But, here I am. I'm begging you, read that court filing. Find whoever you can to listen and to try and spread the word, because people, they are going after our kids. This is not, it's killing young boys, especially with myocarditis. Oh, but it's rare. Yeah, okay, see how rare it is. Oh, it goes away on its own. Okay, well, you know what? Even if it does go away on its own, when you have swelling in your heart tissue, you've done damage. And there's no way of knowing what that damage was until later. So I'm out of time. I got 15 minutes. It's not gloom and doom. It's not. But evil succeeds when good people do nothing. And as I said before, to see evil and to say nothing makes you complicit. Well, I'm screaming as loud as I can. There is evil all around us. And to ignore it, well, you can see the logical progression. This doesn't stop until we make it stop. Much love. We can make it stop. We have the power, not them.